today we're working on a 2003 Dodge Caravan. We need to replace the water pump, the idler pulley, and the tensioner. Alright, so see if we can. Okay, so there's the idler pulley. Now, according to this diagram, the water pump is beneath the power steering pump, which is back in there. Back there. So, the easiest way to get to any of that is by jacking the car up, taking the tire off, and then pulling the inner fender. That way everything, hopefully, is exposed that way. But it shouldn't be too big a job to get this. But then again, I mean, with the way everything is angled and the way everything is situated, that water pump might be a bear. So we're going to be replacing the water pump, the tensioner pulley, and the idler pulley. So let's get a good angle. Alright. That right there is the water pump pulley. Now in behind it is the water pump. There's the tensioner. And up above the tensioner is where that idler pulley is. So those are the three things we're going to be replacing. So the first step that you're going to need to do is take the serpentine belt off. Once you get the serpentine belt off, then you can start pulling the bolts out of that pulley. Now, it might even be a good idea to leave your serpentine belt on there. Get the bolts broken loose. That way you've got some tension on it. But let's see if we can get...
We can lock that pulley up.
Alright, so there we go. There is a third bolt up in there. So that pulley is going to have to roll around. So the easiest way I think to do that would be to drop your tensioner, take the tension off the serpentine belt, roll that pulley around, and then let go of the tensioner and break that bolt loose. And then you can take your belt off. So,
Run it wrench.
yeah.
It's all gonna be a wrench.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be half inch.
Let's see if I got a half inch line here, see if it'll fit. Here's a half inch. She fit, barely. I don't know if I'm gonna get my socket back. Give me my socket back. Thank you.
Alright, let me go grab a half inch wrench. I'll be right back.
Alright, I need to get it.
So that one's broken loose?
Both of them are.
Alright, so now
I'm just trying to think how that tensioner's gonna
put a ratchet in that hole.
And if we can get her point.
Alright. Okay.
Is it off?
Yep. Oh man, that flashlight. Okay. So we took the tension off the serpentine belt. Man, this video quality is going to be garbage. I am sorry for this. It's a very tight space. Okay. So, we took the tensioner, or the tension, off the serpentine belt. Rolled that pulley around like I said we would. And now we're breaking the third bolt loose. Once it's loose, we can go ahead and take that serpentine belt off. And pull the pulley as well. Now, see, don't you wish we had the ratchet wrenches? Okay, so we couldn't get a ratchet in there, so pry bar works just fine. Give it just a touch more, James.
I can't. Watch your fingers.
Okay, serpentine belt's free. Alright, so serpentine belt's off. And can you, I wonder if you can, yeah, pull that belt out of it.
Bearings are shot.
Yep, so if you guys pick that sound up right there, that magnified by 1,000 is the sound that this is making. Obviously it's not going to be very loud now because we can't spin it very fast by hand, but this engine is spinning that thing at 750 RPMs. If you don't know what RPM stands for, it's rotations per minute. So the engine itself is cycling at 750 rotations per minute. Alright, so if we try and factor into how fast that pulley is moving versus this pulley, because this pulley is bigger than that pulley, the smaller pulley is obviously spinning faster than the crank pulley. Now, that 750 RPM at an idle is based off of how fast this pulley right here is turning, because that's your crank pulley, which is what your connecting rods are attached to, and your piston is attached to your connecting rod, which gives you your compression. So anyway, this pulley is larger than that pulley, so the smaller pulley is going to spin faster than the larger pulley, which means that 750 RPM on this big pulley is possibly, now I don't know for sure, but possibly,
Dude, I think probably about 1,000
rotations per minute. I don't know, man, that's not that much smaller. It's probably a third smaller than the crank pulley.
No, third of 250, so I mean it would be 1,000. If you're calling thirds, I mean.
Yeah. Look at you, mathing and stuff.
That's the one thing I'm good at. I've just seen something, fluid leak.
Okay. So the pulley's out.
Maybe.
Probably have to come from above, James. Probably have to push it up and then drop it out.
That's ridiculous. 1, 2. Let me get that other pulley, that other pump. See how many bolts I got.
1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. No, 5.
2, 4, 5. Oh, good. We can get to all of them. Alright. So, these wee little teeny tiny bolts right here are what hold this water pump on. And it is a wee little dinky water pump. It's one of the smallest ones I've ever seen. Yeah, sorry, I'm on the floor trying to... That is the water pump. Like, look at how small that is. It fits in one hand. That's a wee little tiny thing. Okay.
That ain't half inch.
No, definitely not.
Pull this up. Might be able to get it with a ratchet. Probably 3/8.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 3/8 or 10 mil.
She ain't 3/8.
Alright, so I got a 10 mil.
Drain pan.
It's behind you.
It's way down the other end of the van. Jesus.
It's a 10 mil. I'll start taking that water pump. But definitely want to make sure you have a drain pan of some kind to catch it. Kind of a tongue twister. Holy crap. Grab that 12 and lock on. Give yourself a little bit more room.
That top one's gonna be fun. Let's get that. Just a second, huh? I'm probably gonna need a ratchet. Honestly, I can't get that right. Probably gonna need a ratchet.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna go get a ratchet. Okie dokie, got the ratchet. Pulley's in a terrible place.
Yes, sir, it is. Let's go back up here and mess with this one a little bit. This one's I think I'm on.
One click at a time. Once we get them broke loose, we can get a wrench in there.
That one's loose, that one's loose. Need this fella loose.
Flashlight out of the way. James, why not just leave the giant hole down there and just go through the pulley?
Try.
bigger extension.
I can't go bigger.
Why?
I mean, that's a little extension.
Yeah, but you can go on the other side of the brake line and just be out here with it. Alright.
Try this. It's going to be the angle.
There we go. Just needed to get out from in there.
Okay, I'll just take this one all the way out.
Yep. And this is why you want a catch pan. Because once you break that seal, it starts leaking. And if you've got animals, antifreeze is very detrimental. Yeah, make sure that you definitely dispose of that however you're going to dispose of it. In our case, if it's not terrible, we're going to reuse it.
Having this many extensions, man, helps, almost gives you a freaking swivel.
Yeah. A lot of connections in there, you get a little bit of wiggle room.
Oh, come on. You almost there. Quit playing with me.
I've got swivels.
Quit playing with me. Don't play with me. That almost ended badly. Look at the end of that bolt. Towards the head.
Yeah, she kind of gummy. I wonder if that's a through bolt though. Alright.
Dude, I may have got a hell of a vehicle. The way this water pump sounds. Honestly.
Hopefully.
Hell of a steal.
I don't know, it's hard to beat the $400 piece out there in the driveway.
It's hard to beat that, but I mean, still.
Hard to find a $400 anything anymore.
Well, I mean, to get something third row,
Oops.
family oriented, I mean, that's a little bit more difficult. I mean, you're jumping a whole nother category, man.
Hey, that car's family oriented. Fits more people than my Jeep.
What, the one?
Hey, there's one more person.
This one's bothering me.
Heck, that's still not that bad.
You see the Gladiators coming out?
Yeah, yeah.
Coming also with the diesel motor.
I was not a fan of their release.
No, I didn't see that.
They took a Comanche and ran it over with that, and I was pretty upset about it.
I'd be upset. I just wish I bought the Jeeps back that
I mean, they look.
instead of making it a Wrangler pickup truck, actually made it a pickup truck.
Right.
Made a J20 or a J10. Oh boy. Couple clicks.
Flip it around and run it up high.
That tensioner pulley's right in the way.
Yeah, go above it.
There's still something up in the way up there. I mean, it shouldn't come off with pressure on it.
No.
I'm just dreading to see the backside of this water pump. How about third one? 2 more to go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yummy.
Get that one out, we might be able to angle that water pump and get that pulley out of the way.
Maybe on the right bolt. I just don't feel loose. No, it sure ain't loose.
It was loose.
Come on, get back up there.
Yeah, you're on it. To give ourselves a little bit more room. Plus, we need to let that drain some more before we have a giant mess on our hands. That's not a pry bar. Now be careful, they have spring tension behind them. Yeah.
Shouldn't. It bolts up in place.
Right.
The tension's inside the pulley.
Right, but if this part was seized on there and we separated here, that spring would come flying out of there. That's the only reason I said careful.
I hope that tension is something that comes with the new pulley. That pulley's shot.
Yeah. So is your idler.
You're just in the wrong spot.
Oh, here, trade me out for a minute. Alright, well, we're going to get this bolt out and turn the camera back on. Okie dokie, so we got that bolt out of there. And now we need to get to that bolt up there that the serpentine belt is sitting on. You just barely catch the head of it right there. See if we can. Yeah. That one.
You're gonna have to be my eyes.
Okay, your finger's on it. Ratchets, yeah, wrong way though. There you go. And we thought that was going to be difficult to get to. It's probably the easiest one yet.
Get ready, watch your face.
If that falls on the face, I'm going to be upset. Not at you, at life.
Is it bolt's about out?
Well, it's kind of wedged against the frame rail. Or unibody, whatever you want to call it.
Hey, where's it? Here.
Oh,
I'll take it, thing.
Yay. Okay. So, spin the pulley around. There we go. And then we'll just use it to pop the... Yeah. And then we just got to figure out how to get it out. So, the easiest way to get this water pump out is to take the motor mounts loose from up top. Got a jack on the oil pan. We're going to drop this engine just a touch to get that water pump out of there. Alright, so finally got the water pump out. It was a bit of a bear, but she's out of there now. So, let's get this new water pump in and get that tensioner back on, get that serpentine belt back on, because it's like 4 o'clock in the morning and I have to work tomorrow. So, alright, so we got the water pump changed. We changed the tensioner, not the idler. But that already made a significant difference in the noise that was coming out from under the hood of this car. So now all we're doing is topping off the fluids. Sorry I didn't video putting the new water pump in. It was just, it was too difficult to try to get the angles needed with the amount of room we have, because as you can see, it's dark outside. It's 4:30 in the morning. So it's pretty difficult to try to play around outside and get this stuff done without aggravating neighbors. So, but yeah, it's all put together. We did take these 3 engine mounts loose and drop the front of the engine down to get the water pump out, and then we just, after we replaced it, just jacked it back up, put those 3 bolts back in it. The tire is also on it. Everything is done. Oh God, what was that? Oh, this stupid box tried to kill me. Stupid box. Also changed the serpentine belt because this one is in rough shape, very dry rotted. It was only a matter of time before it broke. But here is the old water pump. Just a wee little tiny thing. I've never seen a water pump this small. It's a good thing that was a junk one. But that's going to conclude this episode of DJ's Garage. Please like and subscribe. If you haven't already, hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time I post a video. I'm going to try to do 2 videos a week. Like I say, I'm constantly working on vehicles, constantly doing fun stuff. The next project is going to be my bike over there. That has literally just been sitting all winter. Want to take the fuel tank off, check the contents inside. I'd like to recoat it. We'll see once we take it apart what it looks like. I need to put another fuel pump in it. That's why I want to see what it looks like in there. There's no reason to have to change fuel pumps as often as I'm doing without some sort of debris in the tank. So that'll be an upcoming project.